Hello and welcome to Maths with Jacob. This lesson will focus on angles in any quadrant, part 2. A special puzzle to warm up the brain cells is on the next slide. The answer will be given at the end. Enjoy. What is the meaning of the following? Good luck with it and see how you go. In the previous video, we looked at how to determine the sine of an angle in any quadrant. This video will explain how to calculate the exact values of angles greater than 90 degrees. Angles in the first quadrant. Calculating the values of angles in the first quadrant is very easy because they are all less than 90 degrees and they are all positive. Angles in the second quadrant. Calculating the values of angles in the second quadrant is guided by a few special rules. Rule 1. Use the rule relating to ASTC to find the correct sine of the angle. Remember from the previous video, ASTC stands for all stations to central, meaning all ratios are positive in the first quadrant, sine is positive in the second quadrant, tan is positive in the third quadrant, and cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. Now for the second quadrant, subtract the given angle from 180 to find the value of the resultant acute angle formed by the ray and the x-axis. Now here are a few examples for the second quadrant. The sine of 150 is the same as the sine of 180 minus 150, which is the sine of 30, which is a half. Now sine is positive in the second quadrant. The cos of 135 is minus the cos of 180 minus 135, which is minus the cos of 45, which is minus 1 over the square root of 2. Cos is negative in the second quadrant. The tan of 120 is the same as minus the tan of 180 minus 120, which is minus the tan of 60, which is minus the square root of 3, and tan is negative in the second quadrant. Angles in the third quadrant. Use the ASTC rule to find the sine. Subtract 180 degrees from the given reflex angle to find the value of the resultant acute angle formed by the ray and the x-axis. Here are the examples for the third quadrant. The sine of 210 is minus the sine of 210 minus 180, which is minus the sine of 30, which is minus a half. Sine is negative in the third quadrant. The tan of 225 equals the tan of 225 minus 180, which is the tan of 45, which is plus 1. Tan is positive in the third quadrant. Angles in the fourth quadrant. Use the ASTC rule to find the sine. Subtract the given angle from 360 to find the value of the resultant acute angle formed by the ray and the x-axis. Examples. The sine of 300 is minus the sine of 360 minus 300, which is minus the sine of 60, which is minus the square root of 3 on 2. Sine is negative in the fourth quadrant. And finally, the cos of 300 is the cos of 360 minus 300, which is the cos of 60, which is plus a half. And cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. Here's a quick quiz to help you. Please check through the video at any time. The answer to the puzzle, what is the meaning of the following? Try to understand. If you look at that carefully, I think you might get this one. The answers to the quick quiz, and the video is at your disposal. If you found this video useful, please subscribe on the next slide. You'll receive a notification when the next video is available. Please share with your friends. Hope to see you next lesson.